Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with a few items that I purchased from Ulta. I had originally had the Anastasia Beverly Hills loose highlighter in So Hollywood waiting to purchase online on Ulta so that I could use a 20% off code that I had. But when I was in the store, they had some in stock, and when I was there last time, they were sold out because I was originally going to get it then. And I couldn't help myself. I had to have some instant gratification, so I went ahead and I purchased the So Hollywood loose highlighter inside the store. They also had the rose gold one in the store, which I almost got, but I was like, just hang tight until you place your order online so that you can get the 20% off. But I did get these two items right here. And now that I think about it, I totally spaced out that I wanted to get another Becca sugar lipstick for my purse. Dang it. Next time. Just these two guys in Ulta, and I'm actually wearing the So Hollywood highlighter on my face today. That's what I have on for a highlighter. I have a little tiny bit of Snowflake mixed in with So Hollywood for the top of my cheekbones, but all the other highlight points on my face is So Hollywood. And I haven't tried it by itself on the top of my cheeks just yet, but on the other portions of my face, it almost looks like I can get away with using it as a highlighter just by itself without having to mix it with Snowflake. But my plan was originally to use it mixed in with Snowflake. I did order online the rose gold shade as well, which I plan on mixing with Snowflake, but who knows, maybe that'll work on my skin too. I'm not sure yet. So this is So Hollywood. I'm obsessed with these highlighters. They let your skin shine through while giving it a really shiny, wet look to the skin, and I'm just really, really into it. I hope that she makes these like a part of her permanent collection. I have several of Snowflake on backup, but so far so good on So Hollywood. So I'm like, do I need a backup of this? Probably not, but it looks way darker in the little tub here than it actually applies, and I'm just obsessed with the glitter lids as well. I think they're awesome. So this one is So Hollywood. It is a really pretty shade. I can about imagine how stunning even this would look on a skin tone that's deeper than mine. It's very pretty. So like, it looks a lot lighter on or blended into the skin than it looks like in the tub. You can see there how that can be kind of a little deceiving, I guess, but so far I've really been loving this as well. And the Becca lipstick that I caved and got while I was in the store is the shade Bear, and it's from their Ultimate Lipstick Love line, which is a newer line that they have come out with. And I really like the formula of this lipstick. I think this is the fourth one that I've got. And Sugar, I think I've worn down probably a third of the Sugar lipstick. That's probably my favorite shade that I have so far. But this is the shade that I have on my lips today, and it looks a little bit more coral on because I lined my lips and kind of filled it in a bit with MAC's lip liner in Voltage. This is the Pro Longwear one, so it does pull a little bit more coral because I lined it with that. But this is the shade by itself, and I really like it as well. It's a warmer shade too, so it kind of mixed in with that Ablaze. It just kind of created a really pretty warm corally lip, leaning more orange than reddish pink, which is kind of what I was going for. So that is the Becca Ultimate Love lipstick in the shade Bear right there. And then I was in the Sephora store and I purchased the Laneige Lip Glowy Bomb. I originally purchased one of these off of the internet and I had given it to my mom, and she is obsessed with the potted version of this Laneige. More recently, I've been trying to wear my, I have the one in Apple that I got off of, I purchased it off of Yes Style, which they sell Laneige products in a lot of like Korean Asian brands. But I've been using my Laneige at night. And so far so good. Normally I would never stray from my Paula's Choice lip balm that comes in the tub, which is an amazing product as well. I can't even tell you how many of those I've been through, but this is a really nice product as well. So I thought I'd give it a try because she also loved the one that I gave her, and I got the one in Berry, and there's 0.35 ounces in the tube. And again, it's called the Lip Glowy Balm, and it's very comparable to the one that's in the tub. Like, I think it's the Overnight Lip Mask. It's a lip mask is what it says on the tub. But I feel like this is just a little less thick than that, and it has a slightly more, I don't want to like confuse it with a gloss, but it's got a slightly more gloss factor to it, but it's definitely more leaning towards a balm for sure. So far I've been liking it. It's just a super easy product to throw on. It's a squeezy tube with a tip like that. So this is the one in Berry. and it has a sweet berry scent. There's 4 flavors altogether from what I have seen, but I got the berry one. I had like 3 of them in my hands that I was going to buy, and I'm like, how about you just try one first? So that's the Laneige Lip Glowy Bomb in Berry. And then recently on 420, Melt Cosmetics restocked their Smoke Sessions eyeshadow palette. And I had emailed them, I would say it was maybe a month and a half to 2 months ago, explaining what has happened to all 3 of my Melt Cosmetics palettes. And they had offered to send me a replacement of Smoke Sessions when it came back into stock. And so they went ahead and they did that. But the reason I'm kind of bringing it up is because I'm real curious as to what other people's opinions are, if they have gotten any of the Melt palettes, if these type of things have happened to theirs as well. But this is the one they just sent me, and this one looks stellar. The one that I got prior to, as soon as I opened it, the eyeshadows were poofed out in the pan. This one is not poofed out in the pan, so I think that this guy's gonna stay pressed really well like that. Melt makes some really beautiful eyeshadows. I feel like they're pigmented, they blend really well and stuff like that, but I've had issues with these palettes in particular, with them like exploding literally out of the pan. I'm going to show you real quick. So here's my original Smoke Sessions palette, and I have to be real careful with how to show you this because this is what my palette looks like right here. And the only 2 shades in here that are staying pressed are these 2 in the center, which are both matte shades. The other 6 in here are shimmer shades, but I also have mattes that I'm going to show you in my other palettes that also have exploded out of the pan. I have repressed these eyeshadows into the pan, this particular palette, at least 10 times plus. Originally I was just repressing it, then I tried a bit of water, then I tried alcohol, and nothing will keep these eyeshadows pressed in the pan. And I mean, I've really pressed on them. Melt Cosmetics are not cheap products by any means, so this is really frustrating for me. Here's my 27 palette. There are 2 shades in here. Same thing, I've pressed this one probably 5 times. The Crime Fighter staying pretty good, but Vegas Past, what does that say? Vegas Past, I think it says, is still exploding out of the pan. So both of those are shimmers, these 2 right here. And this is a gorgeous palette, beautiful shades, and they're expensive too. And then here's my Gemini palette, which I love. This palette is so beautiful. These kind of colors are just up my alley big time. Gemini finally took a spill. I had repressed it several times, but it finally, one day, I don't know if I tilted it too far or what, but all of it kind of fell out. This one has got 2 shades of matte eyeshadows, the Leo and the Fire OG. Both of those are poofed out in the pan. Leo is about to biff it. Goals is puffed out. I know I've repressed Mochi and Cupcake. But the really bad ones are Gemini, Leo, and Goals, Fire OG for this one right here. But I guess I'm wondering, I'm just real curious to know if other people's palettes have done this as well. Next up, I placed another order on the Ciate London website. They were doing 25% off. So I told myself I wasn't going to do this, but I did it anyway. I purchased another one of the Jessica Rabbit Glow 2 Illuminating Powder Highlighters. I'm going to go ahead and swatch the one that I have been using, which is a really nice highlighter. And I just wanted to keep her embossing inside the pan intact, so I purchased another one. But I'm going to swatch the one that I have used and I'm starting to kind of really mess up in there. I've seen it. This is back in stock on Sephora and the Ciate website. So I got another one of those, and I also purchased another one of the Wonderland lipsticks. It's a Demi Shine lipstick. I find that these wear really well. You do have to make sure you get it evenly coated on your lips or it can look slightly patchy, but they have a nice longevity, and I think that the color is really nice on this one, and I really like the other one that I purchased as well. So this second one that I got is in the shade Exposed. The packaging is super nice as well. And then here is Exposed right here. I'll swatch it next to the other shade that I got as well so you can kind of see the difference. But that is the shade Exposed. And the first shade that I got is in the shade Dreamer right here, which is lighter than Exposed. A little bit lighter, a little bit warmer. And then I ordered the Chanel White Opal highlighting powder. I was after this all over on my vacation, and none of the counters, the Chanel counters, and I went to quite a few, had this product. And this has got a pretty strong pink undertone to it, like shift. It originally looks just kind of white in the pan, but it does shift pink. Now this is, I would almost, it's a baked jelly product that has a little bit more of a powdery texture than some of the other gelées that I have. I would almost call it a gelée powder hybrid, because it's not quite, I don't feel like it's quite as stiff as some of the gelée products that I have. It's a little bit more easier to pick up on a brush, if you will. And the shine on this guy is pretty, but it's not quite as shiny as some. It's still pretty though, and it does have that strong pink undertone to it. And it's light enough for my fair skin, which I really appreciate as well. So compared to like the ABH, which is a super high shine wet look on top of the cheeks, this is a little bit more subtle, but it's still shiny, and it's still, I still think that it's really pretty, but it's definitely more of a subtle highlighter. So that is Chanel number 40 in White Opal. Also from Chanel, I got the Beige Natural Eyeshadow Collection palette. It's a 9-pan eyeshadow palette, and I just kept looking at it, and like, I was like, no, you don't need that. I know you have those shades in your collection. But the palette looks so pretty, and I know that Chanel palettes are a little bit more compact, so if I wanted to travel with a neutral palette, I thought it would be a good one, because it, you know, it's pretty compact. And the shades are really pretty. They're a very easy to work with, simple kind of neutral eye that, again, if you have a few neutral eyeshadow palettes in your collection, you probably have seen these shades before. There was just something about it that I was kind of just feeling, so I went ahead and I bought it. So this is what the palette looks like. I love the Chanel packaging. It's just bougie. It makes you feel fancy, if you will. There's 0.22 ounces of product in here, which kind of breaks down to 0.02444 ounces per shade, which is it's relatively small in terms of the amount of product, the amount of product that you're getting. But the shades are really pretty. They're really smooth. They're really soft. There's nothing that's going to be extremely you know, metallic or anything like that. It's going to be a very easy wearable neutral eye. But the shades are pretty. So let's go ahead and swatch them. They're kind of in little trios like so. So how many mattes do we got in here? We got 2 matte eyeshadows, which are these guys right here. Let's give you some swatches. I feel like swatches of this, I'm like, okay, there goes $5 worth of product. No, but I mean, you know, because it's pretty expensive. But the shadows they're just very, very, very smooth eyeshadows, and they're not super thin where they don't have some substance to them. They're not really thick either. They're kind of somewhere in the middle. But some swatches of these ones. Look at that middle shade. That's pretty metallic right there, but not as metallic as some of the shades that are out there nowadays. Watch these guys. I think my mom is coming. I have to take a little break. Right here. Oh gosh, these are some smooth eyeshadows, man. Very, very smooth. So there are the swatches for the Chanel Beige Natural Eyeshadow Collection. And then I purchased this little kit at Ulta a few trips ago, and I just now got around to wearing it, and it's the Smashbox, the LA Vibes kit, and it has this Gloss Angeles lip gloss and then an eyeshadow palette in there, and it was 29 bucks. The color scheme just drew me in. Something about those greens again. It kind of almost looks like that Gemini palette, them shades right there. I love shades like that. So I kind of bought it for the Cover Shop palette, which I think those are $29 by themselves, so it was kind of a little bonus to get a lip gloss if I'm not mistaken. But this is the palette that I have on my eyes today. I did go over the lid with a Touch and Soul eyeshadow and then also an Essence eyeshadow, because the shimmer shades that I used on the lid were really really not that shimmery. They just kind of fell a little flat and I wanted to amp them up, so I went over them. But let me swatch the lip gloss first. I'm going to probably end up giving this to my mom because I'm not a big lip gloss wearer, but this is 72 and honey. So this is the lip gloss. It's a really warm nude shade. This would look so pretty with Charlotte Tilbury's Lip Cheat in Iconic Nude. maybe I'll give it a go. It's a really pretty color, but glosses, I need to just get over myself. And then here is the palette. It's called Canyon Eye Palette. 0.21 ounces of product, total product in this guy. And then it's one of these type of palettes where the front shifts, and then here are the shades. I really liked there were 4 good mattes in here. You had a good one for the crease, which actually kind of, this dark color right here blends out to be a teal kind of through the crease, and then you've got a brown, a nice matte brow bone underneath the eyebrow, and then you've got this really pretty mustard shade, which these colors right here, I just was really feeling those shades. I used these 2 colors right here, which are both shimmer shades on the lid, and again those shades fell pretty flat for me, so I went over them. The mattes I had to keep kind of going back into the pan to pick up the product, but other than that, they were able to build and blend out really well, but that was the only thing, is I had to kind of keep dipping back in to pick up the product. I'm going to give you guys some swatches. I feel like, I really feel like Smashbox can do better. Their matte colors are really pretty. Like, I love how the eye look turned out today, but it was some work for sure to get it to look the way that it does right now. So those are the first 4. And these colors right here. Like, and I'm pushing pretty firm inside the pan when I'm swatching these 2 to make sure to get enough pigment for you guys to see hopefully see the texture and the color of the shades. But I thought for a minute there that I was going to take it back, but I like these colors, the way that they look from the crease upwards, so much that I'm going to keep it, because I can, you know, alter the shiny lid shades and stuff like that, but I really like the combo of these 2 along with these 2 right here. But anyway, that's from Smashbox. It's the Canyon. This product excites me to no end. It's the new Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm face palette. There are 2 versions available. I got the light version. I think the deeper version is called Lovegasm, and then this one is called Glowgasm. Between these guys and NARS, man, like, dude. The packaging is a hard plastic, and I cannot get over how pretty this packaging is. There's like a face, I don't know if you can see lips and eyes and stuff like that inside of here with these just really pretty pastel cover. I think it's stunning. So there's 4 shades in here. Each one of them is 0.13 ounces per shade, which isn't a bad amount of product that you're getting. These are all baked gelée products, which are some of my favorite type of formulas on the skin. I just think that they give just a pretty look to the skin. They don't look heavy. They give a nice glow. So I love, you guys, yeah, not that I have to explain myself, but you guys know I love me some baked gelée products, right? So I've worn this palette quite a few times. I've actually got on this guy right here kind of as a blush today. And the 2 shades, that they can be used as blush or highlighters depending on your skin tone. I think a medium skin tone could use both of those as highlighters. I lean more on the fair side, so I thought for sure that this guy was going to be an excellent blush. But I have to really build it up to get the pink out of that to show up on my skin. Not that it isn't pigmented, but it's a really, really light blush. And this here, this is too light for a blush. It might make a good blush topper, but it's also a little bit too deep for my liking for a highlighter. And then the highlighter shade in here is absolutely stunning. It's fair enough for my skin tone. It has a nice high shine to it. I think it's really, really pretty. And then the bronzer shade down here, that takes a pretty stiff brush to pick up the product. Again, I don't think that the product is not pigmented. I think it's just the formulation of the product is that baked gelée, and it's a really firm texture to it, so you need that type of a stiff natural bristle type of brush to grab onto that product. So when I've been using it, the brush that I've been using is the Tom Ford number 6 brush right here, just because it's small enough to fit in that pan. It's comparable to the Tom Ford bronzer brush, just in a bit more compact, smaller size. And I did have to go into that bronzer quite a bit to pick up the product, because even with this brush, which is really good at picking up products like this, it was difficult to get that to pick up. I had to really, you know, grind my brush into that product. On the skin, I think it's really pretty. It blends in really nice. It has that nice texture, but that is something to make note of. Let me swatch these for you as I go on and on and on. But if you have really fair skin, I mean, I'm pretty fair. I'm a pretty fair gal. But if you have really fair skin, you know, I think that you'll really love those as blushes. I like those products, I really do, but in order for them to be blushes on me, this one, I can't use that as a blush. It is too light. But the pink one, I really have to build it to get the pink in that one to show up on my skin, because it's pretty, see, it's pretty light right there. But you can see the finish of them is really pretty. This is a satin matte finish, and these ones are all have shiny finishes. This is a pink with a golden duochrome to it. Then I was at Walmart and I seen that Flower Beauty revamped their brushes, and I saw this one right here. I don't know what the name is on it because I threw away the packaging already. But I really like this little brush for like brushing away fallout or dusting powder over like shiny spots or anything like that. It's just a really nice wispy pointy little brush. I got it at Walmart, and this is the newer revamped brushes from Flower. They used to have this like circular half square half circle type of handle, which I wasn't too keen on the handle of those, but this is much nicer. It tapers down nicely. It's just a really pretty brush, and I think it was like $8. Super soft synthetic, so like I would take that e.l.f. powder that I like and just kind of pat it over the shiny areas, and then like when I was doing shadow today, that Smashbox palette had some fallout, so I just brushed underneath my eyes and just kind of whisked it away. So really nice little brush from Flower Beauty there. And then lastly here, I've got the 3 latest Viseart eyeshadow palettes that have come out. I had these sitting on over by my perfume, and I have used them all. I've used them a couple times, and I was like, I don't think I hauled these. And I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys swatches of these eyeshadow palettes today. Viseart is one of my all-time top 5 favorite eyeshadow brands. I love their mattes, are top notch. I always have really good luck with them. They build, they blend. You know, sometimes you might have to dip into one matte a little bit more to pick up the product, but they never stop blending and building, which is something that I find a lot of mattes lack. I love them for that. And more recently, they've amped up like their shimmers with like the Viseart Grand Pro Volume 2, which is all those really high foil shiny shades. I wore the Liaison palette for Easter, and it just turned out so pretty. It was just like mega Easter vibes that day, man. But I purchased all 3 of these palettes off of the Muse Beauty Pro website. So let's get into the Liaison. This is the 4th edition to their palettes like this. They probably have a name for this range, and for the life of me, I cannot remember what it's called. The other guys are the Petit Pros. But anyway, this one is Liaison. The one thing about these palettes that I wish that Viseart would ditch is these plastic overlays. I would definitely look into printing the names on the inside, because these are always just a pain in the tail to have something like this. They are easily removable, however, but you won't see the shades in them after you remove it or if you toss it. And I always like to know what the shade names are. So this palette has got 5 mattes and 4 pretty high shine metallics. Every time that I've used this palette, the look is just so pretty, and purple eyeshadows especially really bring out my green eyes as well. Really like this palette. The one thing that this doesn't have for me is a matte brow bone shade. This color is too deep. It works almost more like a transition blend out type color. So let me give you guys some swatches. This is a really stunning, very well coordinated eyeshadow palette of purples. With the exception for me, if there was just that underneath the brow highlight shade, it would be an all-inclusive for sure. These colors are stunning. Stunning colors. Oh, okay, got too close there. Look at those. So foily. I need to tell you how much product is in here too, don't I? Because I don't remember. Bottom 3. This matte purple too, for being a pastel matte purple, it really pops on the eye. Matte purples are hard to do in general, let alone a matte pastel purple. There. I do get a bit of fallout with the mattes in this one, but they brush off relatively easily off the cheek. Look at those colors though. And everything, no matter what combination you put together out of here, it all goes together really, really nice. So that's the Viseart Liaison palette, and total there's 0.49 ounces per shade, which is 0.05444 per shade, which is mid-range in terms. And then we've got the Petit Pro 4 called Apricotine. There's 0.24 ounces of total product in here, which is 0.035 per eyeshadow. Now the Petit Pros are magnetized, so all of these shadows are removable. I actually have all of my Petit Pros in a larger magnetized palette. The Libertine palette and the palettes that come like this are not magnetized. They've recently converted their packaging in their 12-pan palettes as well. They're calling them the Pro. Those are also removable. The older ones are not. But otherwise, all of the newer stuff besides the palettes that are housed like the Libertine are removable, which I think is a fabulous touch. So this one is Apricotine. There are 3 matte shades in here. You've got these two and then this brown. This shade right here, it appears to be a matte, but it's got like a satin sheen to it, so it's not a full matte. And then you've got some pretty foily shades down here. So let's give you some swatches. For as small as these pans are, they've got quite a bit of product in there at 0.35. I can't believe I forgot to haul these. And then these guys. This color's so pretty. Again, it's very well coordinated. I can use that shimmer shade underneath the brow. But aren't those pretty? This is too deep for underneath the brow for a matte brow bone, but like I said, I've been getting into the shimmer underneath the brow too, not really caring so much. So that is Apricotine, and I love that they're spicing up the packaging with some color. And then the other Petit Pro is number 5, Soleil. Again, same amount of product at 0.28 ounces or 0.035 per shade. This one's got 4 mattes. And then this red shade, again, is one of those shades that's like a satin. It's got some infusion of like very, very fine micro glitters in it, but it's not super shiny at all. I almost feel like it's got like again, a satin matte type of feel with sparkles in it. But otherwise, you've got this color, this really pretty purple, and then this vibrant yellow. Those are matte eyeshadows. Matte brow bone for the win. And then there's my jam right down in the corner, that really pretty duochrome purple shade. And I've worn this quite a few times as well, and I always keep using this purple shade. I haven't used these 2 shimmer shades yet, but I've used the rest, but I always go towards that purple. It's so pretty. So let's give you some swatches here. Matte yellows. Matte yellows are hard to do. So the first 4, and then these bottom shades. This is definitely my favorite shade out of the palette. Right there. So pretty. Whoa, there's all of them. So there's, what's the name of this one? Apricotine, right? Nope, Soleil. So here is Soleil, and there's Apricotine right there. And those are from Viseart, and I purchased mine off of Muse Beauty Pro. So that is everything for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.